Good morning, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, and welcome to this week's Weekly Energy Boost. My name is Elisheva, and I'm here with Eitan Yardeni, and we're here to share with you the secrets for this week to aligning with your perfected self. Weekly Energy Boost is a 7-day spiritual weather forecast where we provide our listeners with the most powerful and practical tools to navigate the coming 7 days. We do that through the wisdom of Kabbalah, its teachings and its tools, and every episode provides you not only with the lay of the land for the opportunities and potential challenges of the week, but lessons that you can use any week of the year, any time in your life. And this week is one of the most, I don't know if the word is polarized, but definitely the greatest dichotomy in the whole year is we have one of the most, if not the most, potentially negative day of the year, and also one of the most positive days of the year within the same 7 days. So Monday, right now it's Monday. This week's episode usually is recorded on Mondays, and tonight is the beginning of the final day of the 3 weeks that we've been speaking about. We call it Tisha B'Av. It's the 9th day of the month of Leo, and both the peak and the conclusion of this period. So we spoke last week about how the Kabbalists spend this day in deep reflection, connection, really detached from the weight of the physical world and doing our best to stay plugged into the frequency of the light of the Creator. As the week continues, this Sunday night and Monday is on the Kabbalistic calendar, the 15th month of the day of Leo. We call it Tu B'Av, and it's considered one of the most positive days of the year. So we really have the two poles pulling us from darkness into light. And again, being that this is the month of Leo, which is controlled by the sun, the extremes are very common in this month. And we want to talk about the very Leo, very relatable human condition of feeling, I read an article by Karen Berg where she called it victimology. That when things happen in our lives, it's very easy to say, what can I do about it? It just is. Or, we have different ways of looking at situations in our lives that are unfavorable and sort of, I'm a Scorpio, what can I do? Or, that's how I was raised, or I'm from this background, or this is, we have all the excuses and all of the fingers to point and the blame to lay. And the Kabbalists teach that, obviously, Kabbalistically speaking, there's no excuses. We are always in control and always in charge of our movie, right? What do we say? You change your mind, you change your life. It's many times just a matter of a perspective shift. But this week, one of the most powerful teachings goes into the idea that any part of us that feels victim, incapable, unworthy, unlovable, broken, it's not us. The true us is a perfect diamond, and the real work of revealing light in our journey is uncovering that diamond. So Eitan and I were talking about different teachings and ways to share with you how to really access the gift of this week. Eitan, I'm going to pass it to you first. This is, I think, for us as Kabbalah teachers, one of our favorite weeks of the year. But what inspires you most about the work of this week?
So first, this week, starting tonight, considered to be one of the darkest days of the entire year, but we know Kabbalistically there's tremendous potential and light available. The 9th day of Av. So I'll start with that. The Kabbalists say one of the reasons, what does it mean, day of darkness? It means that the light is concealed. What's causing light to be concealed? Light is the energy of the Creator. It is an infinite force of love, of giving. Why would it be concealed? When the light is concealed, I feel empty, I feel dark, I feel small, I feel limited, I don't feel the flow. So why is it concealed? And Kabbalistically, the reason this particular day is concealed, because there's a universal law. Anytime you have a huge potential of great light in your life, the personal opponent within us, the ego within us, will do everything in its power to try to block that light. How? With reactive behavior. Every time we are reactive, we cause concealment of the light from our life and from other people. And then what we feel, what we see, what we perceive, what we think, it's not based on the truth. It's based on the lie of our ego. It's based on the illusionary perception of darkness. What is the root of, or the worst reactive consciousness behavior? Hate. It says that the temples in Jerusalem that representing collective harmony in the world were destroyed more than 2,000 years ago. 2 temples with a 400 years difference between them because of one singular reason: hatred for no reason. Because we felt as humanity, and it's still happening in the world, pain, like you mentioned, Elisheva, victim, not enough. Instead of finding the light within and finding the glow within, the easiest way is to blame, and the most extreme blame is hate. So that collective energy of hatred for no reason brought about the day of this day, starting tonight, which potentially there's huge light, but that light is concealed. So the beginning of this week, from today and tonight and tomorrow, the practice and the consciousness, what is the antidote for hatred for no reason? Love for no reason. Kindness for no reason. Smile for no reason. Gesture for no reason. Just because the other person deserves it, he doesn't deserve it, he appreciates it, she appreciates it. Just give kindness, the opposite. So that's the beginning of the week. And then what's starting Sunday night, which is the holiday of love, it's the next level. But before we go into that, which is connecting to our perfected self and loving the perfected self, Elisheva, more words about the first part, which is tonight and tomorrow, about love for no reason.
Well, to me, it's, first of all, this month of Leo, and Leos in general are typically very energetic, intense, being the king of the jungle or the sun in the sky, right? There's a lot of energy there to share and to give to others. But if you know Leos well, you know that they have these two modes of I'm king of the world or I'm useless and I can't do anything. And there's very little in between. And so when I look at this week and I think for each one of us, and one of the things we talk about as the energies of the months change is that we're not just talking about our Leo friends. All of us are affected by the influence of Leo in this month. So what I look for personally is, where am I feeling like I'm on top of the world, I'm untouchable, I know better than everybody else, like the royalty syndrome? And then where am I on the other end of the spectrum? Where do I feel I'm a zero? I can't compete. Why even bother trying? And I think that why even bother trying is very much at the root of hatred. That if somebody, where does hatred really come from? I feel helpless and powerless over a situation, and I start to hate whoever's putting me in that position or whoever caused me to feel that way. Whether it's, you can look at extreme situations. I think it's a lot easier to hate people you don't know, politicians, celebrities, people that are, we only see a certain aspect of them. But I'm sure that there are people listening who feel very justified in their hate for a person or group of people because of actual events that took place. And we feel that way when we feel that we didn't have a choice, when there was nothing that could be done, where we were powerless. And the way to feel powerful is to hate. You see it today unfortunately, in the world, with countries against one another, in so many global conflicts. The powerless, it's just so easy to respond with hate than it is to take responsibility, than it is to work on making a difference and changing things. And so I feel like as we move from this dark time into the light, we have the opportunity to see this in ourselves. Where am I playing the victim card? And where am I above everybody and untouchable and unwilling to see? Those two extreme Leo modes are going to show up in all of us this week. So I feel the work on the hatred piece, or anywhere in my life that I'm blaming, pointing fingers, resenting, the question really is, maybe I couldn't change things then. Maybe I didn't have an option then, whatever happened. But I do get to decide how I feel about it now and its impact on me now. And from that, I can shift from those feelings of hate and contempt into peace.
I love it. One of the practical questions that I've been asked about the concept of hate and judgment is, does it mean I need to love everyone and to agree with everyone and to align with everyone? Look at the political situation in the United States. Very often, we see people that are so convinced about their opinion, but it leads towards hating the other party. Where is the balance? Actually, Rav Ashlag, the one who started the vision of the Kabbalah Centre 100 years ago, said that in any healthy society, healthy marriage, healthy company, has to be polarities of opinions. You have to have differences that you believe in. But is it possible to have differences without hate? Absolutely, yes. That's part of our spiritual work. And when I say love for no reason, imagine someone that you disagree completely with. Are you able to come from the right place, fight for your opinion? Yes. Share with others why you think your opinion is? Yes. But before, cleanse your heart. Visualize that person that you might have judgment and hate towards, and see light from your own heart and soul is shining towards that soul of that person, the true self. And from that place, share all the differences and all the opinions. Because one thing we need to ask ourselves, forget about the external realities, who is wrong and who is right. What type of energy you want to maintain in the cells of your body and in your heart? Love or hate? If you have hate, doesn't matter for what reason, you are attracting chaos in your life. Because like Elisheva said, hate starts with, I'm hating life. I'm hating the circumstances. I'm actually hating the Creator. Any type of hate towards someone else, I'm declaring I'm hating the Creator. I'm hating the universe. I'm not accepting life. What type of energy field would you like to have here? And after we fix that, especially these days, then express your opposite opinion. Fight for what you believe is right without hate. Which leads us towards now the story of the holiday of love. After we cleanse that and we fight. So give us a little insight about Sunday night, next Sunday night that is coming. What is the magic there? Now the energy is lighter. The light is more revealed. What is the spiritual work then? It's the real Valentine Day.
Right. So the Kabbalists teach that there is this unique harmony in the universe on that day between the sun and the moon, right? It's the month that's controlled by the sun, but it's the full moon in that month. It's the one day a year where those two celestial bodies share the sky. And in Kabbalah, the sun represents the masculine, the moon represents the feminine. And so it creates this alignment in every individual, in relationships, in partnerships, and even potential partnerships, right? Because in any one moment, right, the sun is constantly giving, representing the giver, the initiator, the cause, and the moon is always reflecting light or reflecting lack of light. So the moon represents, right, for example, right now I'm talking, I'm playing the role of the sun. You who are listening, you're playing the role of the moon. You share feedback, even in the exchange you may be having this week with someone of opposing opinions. At any given moment in that conversation, one of you is the sun, one of you is the moon. And in this day where there is that perfect harmony, the Kabbalists teach that there's an opening to connect to soulmates. There's an opening, just tremendously positive energy, potential revelation of light. So there's a beautiful teaching about how in the ancient days that the women would go out and dance in the vineyards. They would borrow clothing from one another. And the Kabbalists break down this story. Rabbi Brandwein specifically shares different secrets from different writings about this idea. The deepest teaching of all from that story is about the idea, and this goes back to two words that Eitan used in a few minutes ago. What is our true self? Who are we really? And I think that that's something that we struggle with, whether we're on a spiritual journey, not on a spiritual journey, beginning of our spiritual journey, doing this for 20 years, is that on one hand, according to Kabbalah and teachings of many, many philosophers, the real us is our soul. It's perfect. It's complete. It can see from the beginning of time to the end of time. There doesn't experience worry, fear, anger, judgment, hate, none of it. At the same time, in this physical reality, I wear the costume or the virtual reality suit of a body, which comes with not only emotions and moods and feelings and obviously physical sensations as well, which can be confusing to the soul, but also this VR voice, this opponent voice inside everybody's head. And the purpose of that opponent voice is to help us rise above, to overcome, to act with light despite the challenge that voice provides us with. So in that quest, it's very easy to believe that I am angry, selfish, judgmental, jealous, insecure, broken, damaged, because that's the soundtrack that the opponent plays constantly in our minds. And there are two broadcasts. I can listen to the broadcast of my soul, which is always going to be more quiet, more gentle, more subtle. I have to make extra effort to tune into it. But the voice of the opponent is loud. It's a more powerful narrator to the story than the voice of my soul. So the Kabbalists teach that within that story of the way that the young women used to go out and dance in circles and wearing borrowed clothes, the word that the Kabbalists use, actually borrowed vessels, to find their mate. And there were no restrictions, no limitations as to who you could find in that opening of Tu B'Av. All of the rules were set aside, and it was a time where there was great unification, great unity, great connection. So there are a lot of secrets. I think, Eitan, I'm going to hand it to you to break down the real gift of not only what's happening on Sunday night and Monday, but I think it's also a good opportunity to explain that the whole week provides us with that light, whether that light is being it's before the day and that light is coming to us, or it's after that day and the whole week we're spending manifesting that energy, enjoying the benefit of that revelation. So share with us.
Beautiful. So when we talk about love, there's many dimensions to love. There's the love between us and the universe, which practically manifests itself when you're in a constant state of gratitude and appreciation, and you're in love with life. There's love between us and our friends. There's love between us and our soulmate. But the root love is between the present me, whatever consciousness I have, and my perfected me. Self-love. And I want to get deeper into understanding it. And Elisheva shared that based, which is, it's a parable that has secrets in it, based on the ancient story. The women used to go out dancing in the vineyards and wearing borrowed white clothes. Who are the women? Us. Kabbalistically, woman is a code for a vessel. All of us, humanity, comparing to the source of all good, the light of the Creator. The light of the Creator is male energy, not from sex point of view, not from gender point of view, from energetic point of view, energy of giving. We as humanity, comparing to the light, energy of receiving, comparing to our fellow men, we energy of giving. It's all relative. So we are the vessel. So when it says the girls of Israel return, or the women, it refers to us, all of us. What does it mean wearing borrowed white clothes? Is the idea that in life, in order to attract love into my life, I need to have attitude and emotions and thoughts of love towards myself. How can I have it? Like Elisheva said, if I see so many imperfections, especially that we're working on myself spiritually. So it is important to realize that the white clothes represent the perfected self. There's deep Kabbalistic understanding that there's a vow and a contract between the soul before coming to this world and the Creator, that all of us going to achieve our perfected stage, which is pure channel of good. And if we're going to achieve in the dimension of no time, we're already there. So the idea of borrowing the white clothes means even though practically in the process of time I'm not there yet, I'm actually borrowing the future me, which is the real me, which is the real essence me, into the present time. I'm filled with love. I have an open heart. I have so much beauty and greatness and blessings to give to others. I'm so proud of my perfected self. I'm a spark of the Creator. I'm a channel of good. Is it a contradiction that I still need to work on myself? No. And here is the situation. I need to believe in myself because I need to believe that the perfect me, the white clothes, are right here. That's the real me. And that's the type of emotions I have to have towards myself, not self-hate and self-judgment. Because the other way is, only when I'll change, I'm going to like myself. Only when I'm going to correct that mistake, I'm going to like myself. Step number 1, borrow the white clothes. Connect to your perfected self. Step number 2, from that energy, what can I improve? You know, some of you have a child or a niece or a grandson or relative or child of a friend, especially the first 3 years of a child's life, a baby. When you look at them, It's so easy to see and to feel towards them such a pure soul. And even though they'll be a little naughty and disturbing and annoying, but you look at their eyes, you still see clearly and you believe in them and you treat them as if they're perfect, they're amazing, they're a beacon of light. Do they still need to learn lesson? Yes. But what's my attitude towards them? Love as they are perfect? Yes. Excitement and acceptance and believing in them as their beautiful, pure soul? Yes. Same feeling towards this little baby we need to have towards ourselves. And the one night that we have this cosmic open and a gift, Sunday night, next Sunday night, to sit and to meditate, to establish it, not just for that night, for the whole year. Please the Creator. While, of course, I want to work on myself and improve my attitude, my emotions, my feelings, believing in myself as if I know that's my essence. So I'm borrowing that perfected self from the future to feel it in the present. Only then I can receive true help from above to grow, to channel. Because the person that judges himself, a person that always not enough, we're not a channel to attract light. Even though we do a great job, that attitude, I'm not enough, I'm bad, I'm going to like myself only when I'm not attracting light into my energy. And actually, I always will chase fixing myself. So the root of all love started with loving myself based on the true me, which is the future me. And then I can love others. Then I can believe in others. Then I can attract the right people, the right soulmates into my life.
So powerful. I'm thinking in terms of, throughout the years, hearing different meditations and teachings from our teachers, and just the whole idea that the fact that my soul is perfect, my soul, right at the end of the process, the rest of me will catch up with that perfected me. Even in a very simple level, makes me feel that it's within my reach. That even though I make mistakes, and often I make the same mistakes over and over and over again, I catch myself after the words have already flown out of my mouth or whatever it is, that it's closer than I think. And that's a source of strength for me. If I know I'm going to get there eventually, a lot of people out there say, dress for the job you want. That's what the Kabbalists are saying. Borrow that vessel, right? Borrow those clothes. You're going to have them eventually. Why not wear them now? And to really operate. And there's all these different studies and different ways you can say this idea. But if you imagine you're already there, your brain doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality. You begin to live that version of you. And it's such an exciting proposition. And I'm so excited for everyone to live into that this week, to build their vessel, to prepare for it, to participate in it. And we'll put links at weeklyenergyboost.com so that you can participate in learning more about this window in time, to connect with us, to be a part. One of the things we do at the Kabbalah Centre is we have a huge virtual community, and we live stream so many of our classes and events because we know that the power of, the numbers, that if I'm connecting on myself, that connecting by myself, that's one level of connection for me. But when I gather together with a group of others, that connection is so much more powerful, both for us as individuals and for the world. So you can visit weeklyenergyboost.com, where you'll see the different links, both to participate in the 9th of Av as well as Tu B'Av, those two polarized bookmarks we have this week. You can also visit Weekly Energy Boost to find out about other things that we think are important for our listeners to know, to click the donate button, to support our podcast, and to look into our archives. You can follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. We post other content throughout the week to support you in living these teachings. And as always, we encourage you to share this episode, to rate, to like, and to review. That helps us get in front of more ears and more eyes. And we so appreciate all of you for listening and doing this work with us. And we'll see you next week on the Weekly Energy Boost.